Hello everyone, this is Shraddha Upadhyay, Assistant Professor of English from Arts and Humanities Department of Sri Rawatpura Sarkar University. Today, I am going to tell you about communication. What is communication? The word communication is derived from the Latin word communis, which means common. In simple words, communication refers to the commonness, or sharing of information, facts, ideas, opinion, attitudes, and understanding. In short, we can say that communication essentially means transmission of commonly meaningful information. There are certain definitions of communication. Communication is a process by which information is exchanged between individuals through a common system of symbols and sign of behavior. And communication is interchange of thoughts, opinion, or information by speech, writing, or sign. It simply means that communication is the process by which information is transmitted between individual or organization so that an understanding response results. Or communication is the process of passing information and understanding one person to another. Communication is a two-way process. Always remember that communication is a process by which information is transmitted between individual or organization so that an understanding response results. A sender and a receiver are the essential part of communication, and without a receiver, the communication cannot be completed. So it is a two-way process. Now, let us discuss about the process of communication. There are certain process of communication. In every communication situation, there are two parties, a sender and a receiver. In this, sender transmits a message and the sender accepts the response. The receiver's response to the sender is called feedback. The whole process involves in a cyclic manner. This cycle is called communication cycle or the communication process. The following essential elements of communication system or the cycle or the process known as communication process that involves sender, message, encoding, channel, receiver, decoding and feedback. Sender. The person who gives out the message or from whom the information initiates is called the sender. Sender is like a source that sends the information in the first place. The success of the communication depends critically on the functioning of the sender. Then, message. The information which is sent is called the message. The message should be simple and clear so that it is easily understood by the receivers. The next one is encoding. Encoding is putting the meaning of the message into appropriate words, symbols, gestures, or other form of expressions for the purpose of sending an intentional message. The next one is channel. The media through which the message is sent is called the channel. Selection of a suitable media is essential for proper communication. It is a bridge between the sender and the receiver. The channel may be like radio, letter, telephone, email, fax, etc. Then, receiver. The person or a group who receives and gets the message is called receiver. The receiver must be essentially capable of understanding the sent message for effective communication to be achieved. The next one is decoding. In this step, the message receives in decoding so as to understand it. The message receives in analyzed and interpreted so that it is correctly understood. The last one is feedback. Feedback is a response after a particular communication. The actual response of the receiver to this message communicated to him by the sender is known as feedback. Now, let's take an example of the communication model. Consider this scenario. Sarah wants to meet Ali for lunch on Tuesday and sends an email. Now, the source is Sarah, encoder, the processing that takes Sarah's thought and converts that to words and then into the pressing of key on the computer keyboard. Then the message is the text of the email sent. Ali, can you meet me for lunch on Tuesday? Regards Zara. Then channel is the email system. Receiver is Ali and decoder Zara's conversation of symbols seen on his computer screen into an understanding that Zara wants to know if Ali can meet her for lunch on Tuesday. The communication process ends with the feedback on Ali in yes or no. So, what is feedback? Verbal or non-verbal process by which an individual communicates the psychological, physical, or practical effect of another's behavior to that person. For example, if a receiver gets a message and replies to it by sending a message in return, it is called a feedback. It's just that simple. Now, let us discuss about the barriers to effective communication. So, what is barrier of effective communication? The factor which affects the free flow of communication process are called as barrier to communication. Hindrances that blocks the flow of communication is termed as barrier. These barriers stop the process and put away from effective communication. They result in poor communication, error in judgment, and misunderstanding. There are so many barriers that we are identify in our day-to-day life at the time of communication. First one is physical barrier. Physical barrier is the environmental and natural condition that act as a barrier in communication, in sending message or from sender to receiver. Organizational environment or interior workplace design problems, technological problems and noise are the part of physical barrier. The second one is psychological barrier, or we can also say that emotional barrier. The communication largely depends on the mental condition of a person. If the person is not mentally or emotionally sound, then he cannot communicate effectively, either as a sender or as a receiver. There are so many types of emotional barriers: lack of attention, premature evolution, poor retention, looks by transmission, distrust, or emotion. Then the next barrier is language barrier. Language is the needed for any kind of communication. Even people with speech impairment communicate with sign language and braille. Communication becomes difficult in situations where people don't understand each other's language. The inability to communicate using a language is known as language barrier to communication. Then the next barrier is cultural barrier. Culture is all about socially transmission of behavior, arts, architecture, language, science, symbols, ideas, beliefs, norms, tradition, ritual, etc., which is learned as shared in a particular social group of the same nationality, religion, etc. And sometimes it becomes barrier to communicate because different cultures have developed their own language as a part of their heritage. The next barrier is interpersonal barrier. One of the trickiest obstacles to the effective communication is interpersonal barrier. The ability with others face to face and exchange information clearly through both verbal and non-verbal messages is the basic for the much of our everyday communication. And the next one is gender barrier. Gender communication is an area of study in the communication discipline in which the focus is on how verbal and non-verbal communication affect and are affected by gender. A common misconception about the gender and communication is that it is the study of difference in the way men and women communicate. After these barriers, we have so many other barriers also that we are dealing in our daily communication. Data, language, noise, distraction, put downs, lack of interest, disability, discomfort with the topic, distance, too many questions, other people's, and time. By practicing better communication skill, we can overcome by these barriers. A good communication is the bridge between confusion and clarity. Whether it is on your business, on your workplace, and in your personal relationship too. It helps to maintain a good working and happy environment around you. The art of communication is the art of leadership. This communication is one of the important skills you require for a successful life. Thank you so much.